So first off, this photo, when I look at this, brings back so many great memories.
Yes.
Because this was the Dr. Sleep junket at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. When you get involved with a franchise like The Shining, so much pressure, and you totally delivered. Everyone knows it. I mean, it stood the test of time. Everyone looks back at the movie and goes, beautiful companion piece. That must have made you proud because you had so much on your shoulders for that.
Yeah, I was nauseous for 2 years.
I believe it.
Up until that came out.
I believe it.
Every day felt sick.
Right.
But when Stephen King loved it and Kubrick's estate loved it, I was like, it doesn't really matter if, however it goes from here, it doesn't matter. It could crash and burn and bomb, and this will be fine. And then it did. So it all worked out.
But it doesn't matter because one of my favorite movie in the world is Blade Runner. No one understood it. Same thing, like Mad Max Furiosa. No one understands it now, but it's going to be a classic. Like,
I know. It's time is the only thing that matters.
It doesn't matter. And the thing is, you did the impossible. You made both people happy.
Yeah.
And that wasn't done before. You're a fan favorite. Yesterday, when you came into the theater to introduce, Chris's movie, people really, really respond to you, and I think it's because they feel like their stuff's in the right hands. Because you're a fan, and I know that you're a fan because your reaction to things like people's T-shirts or seeing a poster, like you generally are a fan at heart. When you're going into these things, is it important that you approach it from a fan's point of view?
Absolutely. Right. I'm trying to think of the movie that I would want to see if someone else was making it.
Right.
And fans, we have a lot of opinions because we love it. The franchises that are important to me and the movies that are important to me have been important to me my whole life. Once they get in, they're in your heart.
Yeah.
And so you get protective of it. As a King fan, I've been through the ringer when it comes to adaptations. So I'm always thinking, what would I want to see on the screen? What would make me feel happy as a fan first? And if I can be true to that, then I like to hope that at least a respectable percentage of the fan base will be happy, knowing it's impossible to prove everybody.
100%, 100%. You've worked with so many incredible actors, and you're very loyal to your actors. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in the future that you'd like to work with that you haven't had yet that you'd say, like, I'd love to add them to the Flanagan stable?
Oh my God, there are so many. I mean, thousands.
Like who?
Thousands of people. I recently became really friendly with Aaron Paul.
Okay.
Who I adore and who I
course.
would love to work with.
Yeah.
My dream list, is huge and ranges from just about everyone you can imagine. To I met Pedro Pascal last year, and we had lunch, and I
the
was
wheels
like,
start turning.
we must figure out something to do together.
Right.
But yeah, so many.
And here you are in Montreal, Fantasia Festival. You're about to do a retrospective talk.
Yeah.
In conversation. Is that strange for you?
Very strange.
Because you're such a humble
weird.
dude. Like when you have somebody coming there, you're going to get an award. You're going to get these people that are going to be like, obviously here.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
I get really embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And this one in particular, I think I've always pictured myself or imagined myself being early in my career.
Yeah.
And so to have enough kind of water behind me where we can have a talk like this and where it's kind of like a career achievement talk, it makes me feel like, oh no, am I done?
No, you're far from that.
Are they showing me the door? But yeah, it's incredibly humbling and I'm very grateful for it. I don't know how to talk about it without getting weird.
Yeah,
but
it makes
me stammer.
But the way I see you interact with people, I think you know how to handle it. You instinctively know how to handle it.
Well, I try to deflect it with humor.
Okay.
Try to be funny.
My co-host wants to ask a really quick question.
Sure.
Many years ago, when you were here with Before I Wake, I just had interviewed Kate Bosworth, and she was very friendly. I said a compliment to her, and she said, "Thank you." And I was just like, oh my God, Lois Lane touched me. And when I was in a sea of dream and concentrating, Mark was like, the director's over there. He made Oculus. You should talk to him. I'm like, okay. Hi, Mike. Want to talk to me? Since that moment, you've had quite a career trajectory from Before I Wake until now. Many would say that you are their Stephen King and their gateway into horror.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that kind of crazy? What is it like returning to Fantasia as a hero to many?
Well, I mean, first of all, I hope we had a great conversation.
Oh, we did?
Back then. Good. Okay.
I wish I had duct taped myself to your leg and said, take me with you. but
Well, it's never too late.
Okay,
We'll find some duct tape. So this is actually, I was first at Fantasia in 2011 for ABSENTIA, which was my first horror feature.
Yeah.
And that screening I'll never forget. ever. So I've been back to Fantasia now a few times, and every time I come back, the world feels a little different, my career feels a little different. The festival, while it continues to grow, feels very much the same in that it is populated entirely by people who genuinely love the genre and love cinema.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most incredible audiences and my favorite genre festival in the world for that reason. So it feels like a homecoming, and it's also, every time I'm here, I find myself kind of taking stock and getting nostalgic for those other times I've been here and kind of really marking the time that's passed. Yeah. And this is absolutely no exception to that.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Mike. Mike Flanagan. I think he has a future.
We'll see. Yeah.